you want to know what it is,
Yes.
you have to see it for yourself.
Choose somebody who you know loves you enough to change your diaper. Don't sit there and choose somebody for your 20-some-year-old self, your 30-some-year-old self. You better choose somebody for your 70-year-old self. I can tell you this as a woman after 40 years. After all that my husband and I been through, when it was time to bury my family, he had me. When it was time to bury his mother and father, I had him. When it was time to go through sickness, we had each other. When you have that person and they have proven through the time that they are with you.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Looks fade. Looks always fade. When you're picking someone on just your looks, that's gonna fade, especially for the female gender. And when it does fade, what's left? Are you picking someone for a year or for 5 years? Or are you picking them for the rest of your life? That's for decades, isn't it? So when you're picking, you need to pick on morals, on character, on principles. They need good morals, good character, good principles. People that will want to be there for you when things are hard, when you need someone to take care of you, and you doing the same for them. So pick someone who will be there for you for the long haul. Be there for you for the ups and downs of life, especially the downs of life, because there'll be a lot of downs.
I know people will not like this one, but I'll still say it because
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
you see, a responsible woman with good home training, parents and family members looking out for her, has no business billing a man she's not married to. I mean, what is he paying you for? Is he your father?
Constituent in the building.
I like you. It's not a money-making venture.
What do you mean by that?
Yes, I understand receiving gifts and all. Whatever you are giving should be an addition. It's not your right.
Yes.
And some of you even go asking for monthly allowance. Like, I don't get.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yes, of course, money is important. Without money, there's very little you can do in this world. But a relationship is not about money. That's not why you're getting with someone. So if their sole reason for being with you is money, you're in the wrong relationship. You should not be paying bills for a woman. That's not your wife. No, you should not. You should not be paying bills for her. You should not be giving her an allowance. And you should expect her to contribute to the relationship. If you take her out for dinner, she should take you out for dinner too.
Yes.
She doesn't have to pay all of it.
Nope.
Or she doesn't have to pay 50%. But at least she has to invest in the relationship.
Yes, definitely.
And if she's not working, why are you with her? Why are you with a bum? She wouldn't be with you if you were a bum.
Nope.
You shouldn't be with her if she's a bum.
A lot of you women are pretty, but unfortunately, you're just pretty. There's nothing else.
There's no depth.
Hey, do you notice, like, especially in this generation, social media, that everything you look at, women are just selling. These young girls, all they have to offer is their body. Everything is breast, behind, and cat. That's all it is. I mean, it's stimulating when you see a young lady just have clothes on now. That's the new sexy.
I would absolutely agree with you.
Oh snap, she got something on.
I would absolutely agree. I think that I get, it's very awkward when there is a sister that is dressed provocatively, and then when men, and I'm talking like all across different genres, different nations and all that, when they see me, the door gets open. Have a blessed day, things like that. It's just like the ultimate respect. And in Second Esdras, when it talks about how a whore envieth upright and righteous women, I find that even more so now. And I think that people are realizing that there is respect that they are not getting based on the way that they are carrying themselves.
These sluts out here, they had a hot girl decade. Right. They've been doing it since the 90s. Right. Since Biggie was alive, they would throw that thing out there.
Modern women behave like 304s. They all do. The pictures they post, the clothes they wear, how they speak, how they date, they jump from guy to guy. It's ridiculous. And even the so-called decent ones, the ones that aren't so much entrenched in it, that don't want to be that way, unfortunately are like that, or they do that unconsciously, because that's how society is like. Like in the next video,
I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Would you ever start an OnlyFans? And I was like, me?
Yes, definitely.
Like, how could you even ask me that?
No way. This is crazy.
And he literally goes, like, you post things that are basically like that, so why, like, what do you have such judgment about it for? And I was sitting there like, And I really took a step back.
Just like a woman.
And I analyzed, like, the things that I had been posting, like, presence that I had on social media. And I took, and at the time, I was posting, like, 7 stories a day of myself. Like, I was so deep in it, and I had taken 3 days off of social media, not posting one story, not posting one photo of myself, like, absolutely zero attention.
Why the fuck you lying?
And this is coming from someone who I'm like, I pride myself on the fact that, like, I don't need male attention.
Stop the cap.
And I don't need attention from it, you know what I mean?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Loneliness is, like, not something that I experience in my everyday. Even when I'm alone, like, I just don't really ever feel lonely. I have Jesus, like, why would I feel lonely?
Stop it.
I felt lonely.
Yeah.
Not getting that attention. I can't even believe it. I was not even aware, and I know this might sound so silly to some people, but when you're so deep in it, you have no idea the effect that it's having. And that was the first time, and that was a couple years ago, that I was like, I have to change something.
Congratulations.
social media ruins a lot of relationships, ruins a lot of people. And it's a drug for these ladies. Like this so-called Christian woman, I don't know her, so let's alleged, didn't even think that her actions and stuff she posted and things she did was akin to an OF girl, to a online S worker, until it was pointed out to her. But at least she's amongst the few that when you point it out to, she pays attention, has a look at it and be like, oh, maybe it's true. Most of them get angry at you, call you insecure, shaming them, blah, blah, blah. Anything to be a 304. Anything to be a garden too. And that's how most of them are like. If her page looks like that of a professional, that of a garden too, treat her like that.
Yes.
Recreational use, or don't touch it at all. Just move on.
Ladies who dress excessively sexy are not feminine. They are actually masculine and aggressive. She's using the body as a bait, as a weapon to trap you. Women who are safe for you are not excessively sexual because they also have treasure to protect. They dress attractive, balanced with self-respect and reservedness and moderation.
Now that's a bright idea.
Because she too has something to protect. The brazen woman has nothing to protect. Because she cannot convince you with her character, she uses her skin to confuse you.
That's a damn shame.
If she's showing the goods to every guy that's willing to look, she has no value. Things that are valuable are protected, they're kept. If she's putting it all out there, she has no value. She's just hoping that that will give her some value. That's not someone to take seriously.
You serious?
Yes, sir.
That's someone to have fun with and leave, or not to touch at all.
A lot of women complain that I don't see husband, I don't see husband. You know, say when man come your page, you get within reasonable man they look for. And I don't see you, don't do this thing.
But there are men that like it.
When there are men, they are on serious men.
Who told you? There are men that love it, that they will even bring in
that's what you
This guy is fucking stupid.
think.
No, nobody should tell me that's what I think.
See, let me tell you something. Let me
It
tell you
happens.
something. Let me tell you something. A reasonable man that wants to keep his we won't get correct home. Be doing it for me in the house is fine. you're putting it on social media.
Public consumption.
Do you understand? That's one of the things that guys do. Once they click on your page, they can already tell what they are pushing to you. Okay, I will just sleep with this girl.
What you're selling is what I want to buy.
Thank you. Normal thing that guys are
exactly. And so I would say, okay, this is someone that I would love to marry. There are some ladies that I don't even talk to them, but the decency around them, it doesn't mean that they are good people, but I just appreciate the decency around them. You can tell a lot by someone's social media page. When you go to someone's page and you see there's this thing that women do, you hold your breast and
Okay, do you know the funny thing?
What's that?
But do you know the funny thing?
I mean, what does that do for you?
If it quacks like a duck, swims like a duck, flies like a duck, it's certainly a 304. If she behaves like a 304, treat her like that. It's a little funny that modern men see these things, they see these signs, but because we've tried to make it acceptable in society, it's everywhere. You go out and most women have less of their body covered. It's like 20% of their body covered, tits out, butt out, all of that, and we forget that those are the signs of professionals, if you know what I mean. People that walk the streets. Even if she doesn't walk the streets and she's behaving like that, or she dresses like that, or acts like that, especially online, she does that. That's what she does. She might not take money up front, but she's giving out to everybody. Is that someone you want to take seriously?
Nope.
I remember my grandma always told me, you're going to meet women and women going to come into your life and they going to always have somebody from their past that will always have access to them. One person.
Is that one special person?
There will always be one person that will always have access to her no matter what she says to you. And another thing she said was every time you date somebody, you always have to remember you are really not the one she want to be with. The one she really want probably just wouldn't get his act together.
Damn.
Them two things, it stuck with me forever.
We are getting aggravated. Yes, we are.
And another thing, this is really important. It is not other men's responsibility to not hit on you.
Nope.
You guys are attractive.
That's right.
Other men are going to hit on you. It is your responsibility to keep a boundary around specifically your boobs, your butt, and your nipples.
That's right.
For other men to not touch them. And if that doesn't happen, if that becomes an issue, and for a lot of women that is a big issue, then for me it's just a boundary where I say, hey, listen. And by the way, there's never any emotion in it. As soon as you do something outside the bounds of our relationship, the relationship's over.
Be gone, sucks!
I'm not breaking up with you. It's an if-then statement, like in programming. As soon as you step across that line, the relationship is immediately over. Does that make sense? There's no transition to where I break up with you. We're just done then.
Because you violated like a bylaw.
That's
in
exactly
the beginning.
right. The boundaries are the key for everything for both men and women. It is the absolute unassailable boundaries that you will not tolerate, you will not negotiate.
A lot of guys make this mistake when they're out with their woman and another man approaches or makes moves. They immediately attack the other guy and get angry. Generally, you shouldn't. You should pause and look at what your woman does, especially if you're like, it's a new thing. You just go with her. Allow her to handle it. She's a big woman. She's a grown woman. She should handle it. But it's a good chance to observe. So you pause and you observe. You see how she handles it. If she rejects the guy and the guy insists on bothering her, that's when you step in and let the guy know to F off, because that's your woman. But you shouldn't interrupt. You should allow her to reject the guy. And if she doesn't and she accepts the guy's attention and maybe even gives her number out, that's a clear indicator that this is someone that's not for you. Because imagine she does that in your presence. Guess what she's doing when you're away?
I've decided to move into another direction.
That's how you feel. I gotta respect it. Whatever you want.
And that's all you have to say. If that's how I feel, I'm gonna respect it.
Bullshit. You seem like
you said your one-liner. If that's all you have to say, let's hug and let's just let it go. You ain't trying to fight for nothing.
What? You seem like you've already made your decision.
It ain't about me already making a decision.
What you talking about, Willis?
You don't have a rebuttal for nothing that I'm saying.
You seem like you've already made your decision.
I wanted you to say something.
I'm
and you're not
listening
saying
to you speak.
It's not time to listen. It's time to talk. all of the things you say you want to be there, you're here for me, you're all about the future and everything. You didn't even fight for a second.
You serious?
Would you say that women have a really bad habit of enabling self-sabotaging behavior in their peers?
Yes, and they do a really great job of enabling other women to do terrible things so that they don't get their men. And women sabotage each other so they don't get high value men. So like when I got into a really healthy relationship, that's more on the traditional side.
Yeah.
All the women hated me and stopped being friends with me. They were like, this is terrible for you. Like, get out of this. This is toxic. And I'm like literally waiting for marriage. So excited about my future.
What are some of the terms that they told you?
They told me he was toxic. They told me I was being weird and trad. I was trying to be trad and that I was a bad girl and like I shouldn't fall for that. I should what happened to my career? Why am I not being a boss babe? And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, you've lost a lot of weight. Like, I don't know if that's good for you. Like, maybe you should try to gain the weight back. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, who are you guys like promoting this?
Unfortunately, a lot of them have dug a bigger hole for themselves and there's no coming out of it. A lot of them have spent years of being modern women, being 304s, being garden tools, and that's all they know. Their oxytocin receptors are damaged, their pair bonding is shite, they can't pair bond with anyone. Their habits and the trauma they've accrued from all of these men they've hopped on makes it impossible to be with someone. So rather than see their friends be happy, and misery loves company. So they always do. They would sabotage their friends' relationships. Make sure that it doesn't work out. So they are all alone together.
Just like a woman.
Your woman's friends are the biggest impediment to your relationship being successful. You should advise her not to be friends with single women if she's in a relationship. Most of them will definitely sabotage your relationship. And if she refuses, maybe you should move on.
Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth? You have to see it for yourself.
Happy wife, happy life? Well, kind of. But what if we have it just a little bit backwards? What if by keeping our husbands happy, we get it returned to us tenfold? Now, this is just a theory. I'm just some dumb internet idiot. But I'll tell you something. I'm a selfish person. It may not seem like it, but I spent a long time thinking of myself first. And not until recently did I realize it was just making me more miserable. My husband is honestly constantly trying to give me everything that I want and need, but I would still feel anxious and unsatisfied. And it recently dawned on me. Am I doing the same for him? And I had a meltdown because I realized, no, I wasn't. I thought I was, but it was just surface level stuff. And ever since then, I've been making a very conscious effort to put myself last. What does my husband need? How can I assist him? How can I make his life better? And I feel so much better.
Here's your daily reminder that there are some sane, decent ones out there. There are ones who want to cater for their man and do something for him. They know the guy is going to do the same, so they're ready to reciprocate.
Okay, here's the myth. You're not going to like it, but here's the myth. God is preparing a man for you. Incorrect. Biblically speaking, the Bible says that God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. I'm going to let you sit on that for a couple seconds. God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. So the one God is preparing is you. You have to understand that God prepares you as a woman to come into the life of a man, to be a helpmate, to bring value into his life, to be able to allow him and encourage him to do what God has destined for him to do. But as a woman that is unprepared, what happens is instead of allowing the man to do what God has called him to do, you make it all about you. And you want the man to make you his God. It was never planned that way. As a woman, you need to align with your man, and both of you need to serve God, because that is what God ordained, for man and woman to join together and serve God.
Well, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe as well. Thank you for watching.
Free your mind.